last episode, I may have left the impression that Pinedale was all snow and only good for shooting my shotgun into a hill. It's not true. Everyone I met in Pinedale, whose town slogan is just enough civilization, told me not to mention Pinedale to anyone. And since I only have a few hundred people watching these videos, ethically I feel alright by breaking my promise. Pinedale is amazing. It's like Bozeman, but with like about 10,000 less humans. It's a beautiful small western town with a healthy sheep's clothing, if you get my obtuse analogy. The fishing was not great, but that's just a matter of temperature, weather, timing, and all were kind of off for me in Pinedale, but I felt instantly comfortable there, and I would go back in a heartbeat.
All right. Success.
Oh yeah, you darn right I did. It's not really a cowboy hat, it's more like a hybrid, but it goes against my rule of buying anything from a place that you're never going to ever wear again in the place where you live, like a Hawaiian shirt or Nantucket Reds. But it's a Stetson. I had to. Saturday morning the 15th, still here in Pinedale, Wyoming, and I drove out to this very sort of remote spot. This is the North Fork River. Anyway, yesterday I got that one rainbow and I got about 6 whitefish. God damn, that's a stinky fish. Now I'm in a different location, about 30 minutes away from that, on the North Fork. No, I'm on the Green River now. And behind me is the Summers, way off there, which has been around here since like the 1850s. And it's a major trail for like 70 miles or more that the cowboys move the cattle through. They move them up to the higher elevations in the summer to graze, and then they plant their hay, and then in the winter they bring them back down, and all that hay that they sowed during the summer sustains the cattle through the winter. I was reading about a winter in 1889 or 1890. That winter killed off 90% of the cattle in this area. Pretty intense. Just being a bunch of cows. It's awesome. Admittedly, the fishing was not great for me in Pinedale, Wyoming, but I fell in love with it just as fast as I have fallen in love with Wyoming in general. It's just got a great vibration to it, good people, just a good feeling. But I decided to head a little bit further south, shoot my gun into a hill for no reason again, and I ended up in a little town called Green River, Wyoming. Well, about 10 miles north of it. About 10 miles north of Green River, Wyoming. If you're watching these videos, you're probably saying, why aren't you in Alaska? This is a solo trip to Alaska, right? What's the deal? Well, the deal is, today is the first day on the whole trip that I was able to take my long johns off. It's been that cold the entire time. My original plan was to go to Alaska and then come down through Oregon and Washington and Utah and do all that. But there's no reason why I can't do that in the opposite direction, which is what I decided to do. So I'll be in Alaska, maybe mid-July, which is, from the people I've talked to, really the nicest time to be there. Look at this camping spot. Right on the Green River. And that was the only fish I caught. But I did have an amazing 2 nights right there on the river. A herd of cattle woke me up in the morning, and I was off south to Dutch John, Wyoming, which is just a little small town on the Green River, pretty much intended for anglers. The Flaming Gorge Reservoir is gorgeous. The dam there leads down into the Green River, where the fishing was a lot of fun. I went down and I made a friend. It's a beautiful morning on the Green River. That's Pat. Pat is concerned about the stock market. Pat is a single guy from Austin, Texas. Been up here for a month. Just travels around in his RV for like 6 or 7 months, divorced. And fish are rising. So incredibly quiet out here. I think I probably say it's so incredibly quiet here in almost every one of my videos. If I don't, I'm slacking. First cast. I told you I was feeling confident. Well, that's the only footage I have of the fish. But I had some early luck there, and Pat and I spent a few hours together just walking down the trails, fishing here and there, shooting the shit, talking about life, sharing our travel stories. These intimate but brief encounters I have with people on the river are very interesting. Always a little bit sad meeting people on the road and getting to know them, and then like leaving super abruptly. It's just a shake of the hand and good luck, safe travels, and you're on your way. It's kind of cool though. All right, we're right below the dam. Right below the dam, and pay attention, please don't throw rock, people. Don't throw the rock, people. We've got to climb down this foot trail which leads down there. Beautiful scenery, but no fish that day. But that night, I found this. Snow-capped mountains in the distance, green foothills, craggy hills, and a shotgun range, or a gun range. Not sure why I left Dutch John. I had a couple days to spare and I just had the urge to move. So I headed towards Moab. So I went to Moab to meet my buddy Dave, but I got there early because there's virtually nothing between Dutch John and Moab. I spent one night in Moab. It's noisy, too many people. I camped. It was nice. But I got 3 days to kill before Dave was going to come into town, so I figured I'd head to Durango. And we have a new development. What's up, girl? Hi. Yeah. So this dog was on the side of a highway where the speed limit is 65 miles an hour. And she was just running back and forth. So she's got no name tags on. And I went to a house nearby to ask if she knew whose dog it was. And she told me that dog is always loose, and this dog keeps getting loose and on the highway, and eventually this sweet little dog is going to end up under the wheels of a 18-wheeler, and I can't have that. So I'm taking her with me, and I don't know the next step, but she's in the back of my truck. Well, she was sleeping all right there for a while, but then she realized that she wasn't going home. Anyway, she's a little nervous, aren't you? Yes, because she knows she's not going home. But my friend Joanne, who is an animal lover and dog rescuer, made a few phone calls and found a rescue in Durango who's going to take this sweet pup and give you a new home, okay? She is the sweetest thing. I can't keep her. I can't keep her. I don't have room in the truck for her. I wouldn't know what to do with her when I was doing activities. Just have to stay in the truck. It's hot. We're fugitives on the run. Once again, one of those very brief but intimate encounters that I have on the road. We were headed towards the Humane Society in Durango. She was having a great time, and I knew she was on her way to a better life. She didn't have a chip, and I had to sort of make a decision. There's no way she could come with me. I don't have enough room in my bed. Anyway, the situation is they'll give her 5 days. If someone doesn't claim her, they'll put her up for adoption. Anyway, now I have to go to a laundromat because she peed all over my bedding. All right, well, all right. It's Saturday, May 21st. Welcome to Durango, Colorado, where every car has a cargo rack and every girl has a nose ring. So I spent the night on BLM land, and I'm still not getting sleep because of the itching.
And today I'm going to go for a bike ride. I also lost my belt yesterday. A really nice leather belt that I bought in France. Now I have to go to Walmart. Now, I don't know if you've been to a Walmart, but I will tell you that I have not. I'm not trying to be elitist or anything. I've just never been to a Walmart. Never had cause to go to a Walmart. Yeah, I had a dream about the dog yesterday. I named the dog Friday, incidentally, because I found her on a Friday. And I just drove past the Humane Society where she's residing. Had a little pang. I had a fantastic dog that died in 2010. And he was kind of the reason, well, his death was kind of the reason for all these trips that I started taking, because once you have an amazing dog and an amazing relationship like that, much like a girlfriend or even a wife, you get divorced and you start to look around and wonder, why am I sitting here? And you can't really come up with a very good answer, so you go road tripping. Still looking for this fucking Walmart. I can't find the Walmart. Oh boy, Walmart is cranking. Oh, the people. The utter density of people. I'm going to want to get in and out of there as fast as possible. Hey, girl, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, you go. You go, girl. Sweet muffin top. I'd only planned maybe a 30-mile ride around Durango, a simple loop up towards the top of the river where there was a bridge that I could cross over and then back down. Everything was great until this. All right, I went down hard, and the reason I went down hard is because my crank broke, and luckily I wasn't going downhill or anything like that, but I was being passed at the very moment I went down by Camille.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello. I think we made eye contact.
Yeah, we did. You were like, you go, what's up? And I go, down the road. I got some bad road rash, but luckily they stopped because they're good humans, and they were like, what do you need? And I said, I need a ride. So they fit me and the bike and Mike. But anyway, there we are. Thanks, guys. That night I went up to the lake that Camille and Mike had recommended I go to, found a nice little spot right here on the lake, and the next day I bought a new bike. My road bike was so heavily damaged it would have taken forever to get all the parts delivered to some place where I wasn't even sure I was going to be, to find a bike mechanic that I didn't know how qualified he or she would be. So I bought a gravel bike. Seemed like a better option for the places I was headed anyway, and then I headed to Moab to meet my buddy Dave. I had a beautiful ride along the river, tried my hand at some mountain bike trails. It really didn't work out for me, but lots of gravel, beautiful scenery. But since I'm not in love with Moab, I left a little earlier than planned. I headed north towards Park City. Pretty long drive, but it was incredibly beautiful, as it all is out here. And to follow up on Friday, well, she never got claimed, and she's up for adoption. She's on her way to a better life, just like I hoped. I mean, just look at that smile. And that's the end of this episode. In the next episode, I'll start out in Park City, meeting up with another friend.